Okay, we're back and it's the moment of truth. Let's run this thing and see what happens. I'm going to start by building and see if we get any errors, and yes we do. It says not only has one operand, and there's my not. Okay, that makes sense. I can tell that I did something wrong there. So what I need to do, I need to make sure that my system is running, but that my timer has not timed out in order to energize this rung. So how can I do that? Let's go ahead and create an AND block here, and let's see if we can negate one of those. So we're going to type AND, and we're going to type system run, and then let's try and negate that. So will that let me do that? I'm not seeing it, so let's come in here, and I don't see a way to do that. So I'm going to have to come down here and create another variable that's going to allow us to see that. So let's insert a network after, and we want to look at our sec timer, and we're going to look at Q, and then let's go ahead and put our not block in there. So let's come over here, and we'll go ahead and create a not. And I'd like to scroll down and be able to see that. So if not sec timer Q, then, and I'll just create something that's called reset sec timer. So let's assign reset underscore sec timer. That looks good. Let's hit OK. And let's see if that works. So I'm going to copy that reset sec timer, and I will paste that right there. So let's look and see if this builds. We'll go ahead and try it. Alright, we don't have any problems. Let's make sure, yes, simulation mode is checked. Good. Let's try and go online and put this thing into run mode. So at this point it looks like everything is running. Now let's go ahead and put the system into run mode and see if anything starts to accumulate. I can see that we're accumulating seconds. That's a good thing. And now whenever that thing gets up to 59, what's going to happen? Let's go ahead and bump the value up and write it in. And I didn't see if that actually wrote in. It looks like it didn't. So let's try that one more time. I'm going to try and write in a 55 and Control F7. No, it's not letting me write that in because I've got a value that's overwriting it somewhere. But that's okay. We should be able to just wait and watch, and hopefully we're going to see here in about 20 seconds a 1 will pop up on mins, and secs goes back down to 0. So as long as we see that, I've got a really good feeling that this thing is actually going to be working and doing what we want it to do shortly, if it's not already. And moment of truth, folks. 58, 59, and can I get a 1? Yes, I've got a 1. Okay, so that's a good thing. It looks like this is running. Now let's go ahead and come up here and turn the system off. And it looks like everything stops counting. Let's turn it back on again, and it picks right back up where it left off. So we didn't lose our minute, and we didn't lose our seconds either. I'm going to try to bump that minutes up to 59 and see if it'll allow that. So let's try and write it in. Nope, it's not letting me write those values in. I'm not sure why that is. Let's try that one more time. We've got a 59 there. And let's go up here to online, and nope, it just doesn't like that. It doesn't let me do that for some reason on these counter controls. So, learn something new every day. For whatever reason, I just can't overwrite those values. But let's see if I can get one more minute, and then I'll try and take this thing offline and modify the values. So there we go. We are getting that. So that's a plus. I'm going to go ahead and stop execution on this. And let's see if it'll let me store in some values here. So I'll try and put a 59 there and a 59 there. Control F7 to write those values. And now when I go back online, those values, sure enough, they reset themselves right back down. And I don't see anything up here that, unless it's maybe this, no, I don't see anything up here that's locking those values down. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that, unless it's, there we go, it's actually my counters that's locking those values down. So let's go ahead and move this to 59, and we'll come down here and move our minute count also to 59. And when I write those, I bet we're going to get what we want. So let's scroll down here, and actually it looks like all we did was reset our counters. That's kind of strange. Let's try this one more time. I'm kind of getting tired of it, but I'm going to try it one more time. Let's hit stop so that we can actually really work with this thing. We don't need to look at our timer. We do need to look at our count. And we want that count to go up to 59. Actually, I'll just go ahead and put that up to 50 so we can still see it work. And then for our minute count, we do want that to be up to 59. All right. And let's scroll down here a little bit. We want our seconds to be the same thing that we set it at above, so that's going to be 50. Our minutes, we also want to set at 59. And then our hours, let's go ahead and give ourselves 99 hours just to see how that works. So let's send all these values in and run. And there we go. Our hours didn't stick because we forgot to set the counter on that, but our minutes and seconds did. So as long as we get 1 hour, hey, we did. This thing is working. All right, so it took a little bit to figure out what was going on with the test because I forgot that I needed to set the counters in tandem with the values I was storing them in. But at this point, we've got a working hour meter. Now let's go ahead and just, test the extra stuff. We know that we can turn the system off. That's good, but, let's check and see if we can actually reset these things. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on hour meter reset and Control 7 to send that in. And when I do, let's come down here and check. And sure enough, we resetted our seconds, we reset our minutes and our hours. So at this point, I would say yes, we've got this thing working, and we're probably ready to go ahead and move on to our next paradigm.